Yeah.
So no, you've got the twister here that'll actually squeeze you into the chair.
Ooh.
You've got the seat bolster here for the back effect. And then you also have the knob on the side of the steering wheel so that you can adjust the steering whether you want it closer, further, higher, lower.
Oh, that's cool, no.
So,
alright, are we ready?
When you're ready,
so
to actually put it into gear to change anything, there's a little lever on the front here. You squeeze it first, and then you'll pull it back to go to drive. You squeeze it again, you push it forward to go into reverse. And
oh, that's cool, so the reverse is forward.
Yeah, and it's also the same thing.
So fun.
The shifter is actually, if you actually make it manual, to shift up, is pulling back as opposed to normally pushing forward,
right?
So it's a real race car feel where if you're hard on the brakes and you're slowing down, you just push.
It's a boy car.
Oh yeah, it's a little, it's an adult toy.
It is an adult.
So, you see how much power is right there at the kickoff?
Yeah, I felt it.
It's a rear-wheel drive car. In this kind of weather, rear-wheel drive is, it's good, but you know that it's not the best traction you can have. Yep, the left here. So what I've done is I put it into the extreme weather mode. And you see how it's really soft and gentle underfoot?
Yeah.
It's not killing you with the power. Right now in this car that we're in here, it's got almost 400 horsepower. So it's the V6. But as you can see, it's not going to overpower you. It's not going to scare you half to death.
Right.
Whereas most people, they're not used to driving that kind of high-performance cars.
Right.
So, you know, they'll come on the throttle and then they'll have to lift again straight away, so they'll be slapping the pedal. Exactly. Same thing with the brakes. The brakes are very, very grabby. So, you know, the real idea with cars, with any kind of machinery like this, is smoothness.
Right.
I'm sure it's similar with the horses. You don't want to yank and pull. You want to guide and...
less effort.
Exactly. Less is more. Less gas is more performance. Less braking is more performance. I'm actually... Stop right there, though, for me. Just because I'm going to put you back into normal drive.
Right.
And when you're ready, we're going to go right here.
Okay.
So you're all set. That's it.
I'm used to my truck.
Yeah, you're used to the big turning, huh?
Well, that and like I went to go, and it was, we definitely stopped. We stopped.
So through here, I mean, you're being nice and gentle. I love it. Treat my baby right. You're on a date with her right now.
That's right.
Going right now, it's all just a normal driver.
Right.
It sounds good. It's not overpowering you, powering the senses. If you give the wheel a little shimmy left and right, you'll see it's responsive.
Yeah, no, it's nice though.
But it's nice.
Right.
What the car allows you to do, though, is we can then start to tune it up. We can choose that if I want, you keep looking at the road, I'll worry about this. I'll explain as I go what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So we can tune it up where if you give the steering wheel a little shimmy again, you see how it's gotten a lot more responsive?
Yeah.
And it's actually, if you give it a little bit of a bigger one, you see it's even a little bit stiffer on you now.
Right, yeah.
The reason for that is because what it does is it'll squeeze where the fluid goes through.
Oh, okay.
So it gives more resistance, so it gives you that more race car feel.
Right.
Okay? Same thing, right now you feel every bump and dip in the road, right?
Sure, yeah.
The suspension has taken away some of the softness and the dampeners.
Okay.
So it's actually, it won't take the softer bumps. It feels like more of a sports car. Sorry, I've just turned the AC on a little bit. I'll actually turn that down. And then what I'd like you to do here, instead of just braking, we're actually going to paddle shift, okay? So use the left-hand paddle to shift down. Paddle shift there.
Oh, there. So
yeah,
down.
just give it a little down. One more. And a little bit of braking. And you hear that engine rev. We're going to be turning left here. So a little bit of braking. Actually turn later than you expect to.
Okay.
Okay, because this car, you'll see turn here, turn. You see how it really bites and holds?
Yeah, no, she didn't have a problem with that.
No problem at all.
No, she didn't have a problem.
And you did it great. It's smooth. You go in, you come out. Okay?
So now then I'm in the manual, so can I go shift up?
If you'd like, shift up, yeah. And you see it's smooth. You feel, for me, you can drive a car extremely well. You can drive a car like a normal daily driver. It's all up to you how you want to drive it. If you start to play with the paddle shifters, you'll find that a higher gear gives you a smoother ride, but you have less power available for you. If you're in a lower gear, you got more power, but you really feel every movement on the brakes.
Right.
And you see how just through corners, I mean, it's a smile on your face every time you start it. You go into that corner and you wind and unwind. What I'll do now, we've got you back in the normal mode here. If I just put you into sport here, you see how it's shifted down?
Yeah.
And what we can do is we then shift up. You see the displays change slightly, so you've got a little bit more of a clearer idea what gear you're in.
Right.
You see, you're not going fast at all. Because we're so low to the ground, we really feel like we're moving along here at a great clip, when in fact we're just following the speed limit here.
Yeah.
And if you'd like, what I'm going to do here, I'll talk a little bit more about it in a second. This is the active exhaust. So just downshift for me with the left paddle. You hear that little warble there, that little cough? Give it just a touch of gas, squeeze a little bit of gas, and upshift for me here. Stay with, actually, you know what, I'll show you again a little bit later on, because what it does, the active exhaust really changes how the car sounds.
Right.
Like right now, if we open the window and listen to it, it sounds like a normal car.
Right.
If we turn the active exhaust on, oh, you hear it. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It lets everyone know. So here, just a little bit of brake here. Look as far ahead into the turn as you can, and then balance the throttle and balance the steering. There you go. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. And again, you see it just hugs that road.
I know. I could definitely have fun on this car.
So turn to the right after these trees here. So a little bit of brake here. Brake, 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 because there's your turn. Look where you want to go. A little bit of throttle. Balance that throttle. And I mean, it's just...
I know.
In the to me, the V6 is the fun one to have.
Right.
Because it's very well balanced. It's not going to kill you with the power that you have.
Yeah.
And the weight is it's almost 50-50. So it really does feel like a great car to drive. Now again, I put you back into dynamic suspension, dynamic steering, and you can feel the car bounce, 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 right? What I can do again, I'll leave everything else as is. You hear the engine with that active exhaust. It's a little bit more throaty behind you, right?
Yeah.
But now, if you give the wheel that little shimmy, it's driving like a normal car.
Right.
It's, you know, it's not too aggressive. And through the bumps here, just a little bit of braking because they are big. But look at how it's softened up.
Yeah, it did.
It's driving like a normal car now, as opposed to being that stiff bounce, bounce, bounce feel. We're turning right down here. Got it. Turn that wheel, look where you want to go, and balance that throttle as you go through. And you see, it's always just there, ready and waiting.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No, I like it a lot.
You having fun? It's funny, we haven't turned the radio on in this car once.
Yeah, you
we
don't need
just
to.
roll the windows down and go, oh, that sounds nice.
You don't need to. Sweet.
So at the end of the turn, at the end of the road here, you see it's a nice 90-degree to the right. What I want you to do is try and brake when all four wheels are straight, okay? And then again, because it's got a little bit more of a dynamic feel than most people with a front-wheel drive car or four-wheel drive car are used to, turn into the turn a little bit later, and don't throw it into it, but really wind the wheel in and then unwind the wheel back out, okay? And again, it's just to get that feel for how the car behaves. So look in, wind, a little bit of power now, keep going, keep squeezing. Excellent. And then we're going to the left around this corner here. And no, it's, to me, every time I get in this car, whether I'm driving, whether I'm sitting back, it's just a joy to drive.
It's like that nice event horse when you're taking on the cross country.
You get to have fun with that, right?
It reminds me of my horse on cross country.
Really?
Like love.
It's just,
You can do the hard stuff, but it feels so easy.
and I guess it's kind of similar where you're almost thinking things and you're working together, right? Where you're really not forcing it, it comes organically.
Right, and I mean the lesser makes it look really hard. When the good one's so easy, it's effortless.
And you know what? It's funny. That's what annoys people the most is when you see it done so effortlessly. We're gonna go left here. When it's really done effortlessly, everyone thinks, "Oh, I can do that."
Right.
And then they get out and they find out, man, I've really got to throw the... Oh, he's turning, so you're good to go. It is.
Hanging out there.
And when you get out the car, have a look at how big they are. They're really big brakes and big shoes.
I actually noticed them when I was checking them out.
So, follow the car around. At the stop sign here at the end of the road, you're going to go right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you back into the more aggressive modes. And I'll actually have the active exhaust back on so that you'll really hear it when you get into the 70 zone. You'll just accelerate away. So keep the speed as low as you can as you're getting there, and then accelerate away and you'll get that noise effect. It's really nice. No. That's the thing, is with the active exhaust on, it really is an attention grab.
Yeah. long as she gears down good enough, I don't have to really put a brake on.
No, it's again, like we talked about just when we started there, you hear the noise. We're not even going fast, it's just the building behind you.
Right.
It's that roar, right?
Oh, that's so fun.
And then just squeeze a little bit more positive throttle out, keep going, keep squeezing, and I'll shift for you. And hear that flat?
Yeah.
That's that noise you want. Just come off the gas for me there. Hear that cough, 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 cough. That's again that active exhaust doing some work for you so that you can really get a feel. You get that sports car feel, that mechanical clutch feel engaging in a car that's full of the modern electronics,
right,
but it's still giving you that authentic race car feel, that authentic old-fashioned E-Type Jaguar feeling, right? Yeah. It's just it's in the brand new package. And if you look at how the interior is laid out, you see it's all about the driver.
Right.
I'm separated from you by this big pillar here. I'm just here to have fun. You're the guy that's sitting there. Everything's geared toward you. Right. It's called the driver plus one seating. And again, you just, I mean, I sit here and I listen to the noise.
Yeah.
And then...
Boys and their noise and their cars.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It's a shame the horses, you can't put a little horn on, you know, get them to make their own noise and amplify it. But then I take the active exhaust on and the performance is still there.
Oh, but she's nicer.
It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, right?
Right, yeah.
It suddenly doesn't turn the heads as much for the noise.
It allows the old folks to stay happy.
Exactly. And you know what?
Instead of saying those hoodlums.
You young ruffians, you. And you got it to the left here. And you know what, you mentioned the gearing down and stuff, so once you've made the turn in here, what I'll get you to do is as we're driving down here, here's first gear, so come off the gas completely and off the brake.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
And you see how the car's taking over, it's made it real smooth. The problem is in first gear, there's a lot of torque, there's a lot of power there waiting for you. So what you can do when you start to understand how to drive and use the car properly, what I do is if I put you into second here, and you just give a little touch on the gas, you see how it's taking away that bite.
Oh, yeah.
It's a much smoother feeling, right?
Right.
Whereas if I shift you down to first, the gear down pulls us back.
Yeah, and then...
But if you touch the gas, look at that, there's bite.
Right.
So it's all, keep going straight here, it's all in how you want to drive the car. All of the tools are in here for you to have.
Sure.
But if you just want it to be your daily driver, that's just as possible and just as feasible.
Right.
And you know, like we saw with the noise, if I turn the noise off, you don't even notice it's there.
Yeah.
If I turn the noise on, suddenly there's a monster behind us. The Jaguar's kind of growling because we've got it by the tail.
Right. That's awesome. You want me to stop here?
Oh yeah, here's perfect. No, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was great.
And the park, this is the cool thing.
That's the side, right?
So you're right now in the sport mode, right? So it's over to the side.
So it's got to go over.
Normally, if you're in just drive, you see eco mode, you hit park, it goes to park. It's just that push there.
You just push the button.
This is the problem with the new technology. Sometimes it's very easy to forget to put it into park, whatever, apply the handbrake. So if all we do is just kill the engine, it puts it into park, slides back over.
Oh, that is cool.
So you're not getting out the car to just roll it down the hill away. Yes.
Good job, Jaguar. Well done.
Saying good job, and you see the vents close up there.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
So no, it's very much about the driver.
Right.
For me, I love the interior here. It's a real jet fighter cockpit feel.
Right.
It's not too many buttons. If you look at some of the other competitors, it's just chock full of buttons everywhere, and it overwhelms you.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's simple, it's clear, it's all laid out, but it still feels proper sports car.
That's awesome. Well, I'll take one.
You want the red or the black?
I'll take both.
Both, one for day and one for evening, right?
Yeah.
You need to turn heads daytime and then evening wear, you know.
They're both pretty. I don't mind. Don't mind at all.
At this point, I'm willing to take whatever you have available.